This is the same thing the U.S. has done. Even she is saying the reason this is important is because this leak has kind of gone viral, especially in the UK. Let's get to this leaked audio. UK government lawyers say Israel is breaking international law, claims Tory in leaked recording. Alice Kearns, who is the conservative chair of the House of Commons Select Committee on Foreign Affairs. So this is a top government official of the Conservative Party, the Tories, addressing, obviously, this is internal. This is not meant for public release. Luckily, someone got hold of it.
Secondly, the Foreign Office has received official legal advice that Israel has broken international humanitarian law, but the government has not announced it. They have not said it. They haven't stopped arms exports. They've done a few very...
This is the most important part of the entire clip. He says the Foreign Office, basically their, Defense Department or whatever they call the State Department, Foreign Office has received official legal advice that Israel has broken international humanitarian law, which means war crimes. I mean, these are absolutely crimes. But the government has not announced it. Now, here's the thing. This is not just, isn't that silly that the government has not announced it? The government not announcing it is a big deal because they are, first of all, they're legally obligated to announce when they've received these types of law filings. But they also are legally supposed to stop shipping arms to a country that has violated humanitarian law, international humanitarian law. That is part of international law. That's part of, I don't know in the UK, but at least in the US, we have a law on the books of the United States, those books that says we will not ship arms, or we cannot legally ship arms to a country that is violating law by stopping our aid from getting into the victims area. Basically, we're violating our own laws, not just international laws. The U.S. is violating our own laws when we ship guns and military weaponry and missiles and F-35s now. Apparently, we're sending Israel. We're violating our own law. And so this is a big news and a big leak, and it's having ramifications in the UK right now. They've received legal advice. Israel is breaking international law, and they've not revealed it, not admitted it, and are still shipping arms to Israel.
The government has not announced it. They have not said it. They haven't stopped arms exports. They've done a few very small sanctions on Israeli settlers.
Yeah, they've done some very tiny little sanctions, little tiny sanctions on Israeli settlers. This is the same thing the U.S. has done. The U.S. has put sanctions, quote unquote, on the settlers in the West Bank, which, yes, those settlers are violating law and they're greatly harming the Palestinians that they kick off their. It is horrific. Yeah, those settlers should not be doing that. In Gaza, there's a fucking genocide, okay? There's a genocide going on. And the U.S. is like, we're going to put sanctions on those 12 settlers there. It's just like, dude, you guys are atrocious. Atrocious.
And everyone internationally has agreed that settlers are illegal, that they shouldn't be doing what they're doing, and the way that they've continued, the money's been put in. The position that David has taken,
she says the position that David Cameron has taken, the head of the Tories,
to do the same position as me, like still very tough on him, is that Israel has an absolute right to self-defense.
That Israel has a right to self-defense.
Fight in bunkers and work with Israeli soldiers and be very proud to do so. I will do it again tomorrow. But the right to self-defense has a limit in law. It is not limitless.
Okay, so this is really important because this is coming from someone that is not critical of Israel, really. This is someone who is pro-genocide. This is the right wing of the UK. This is someone who has basically endorsed and facilitated this genocide from day one. As she said, I have sat in bunkers with Israeli military and I would do it again tomorrow. Oh, really? You want to join this genocide tomorrow? That's fascinating. That's an interesting thing to throw in here. The reason this is important is because even the right wing of the UK is saying this is too much. Like, this is beyond the pale. Even those people that are like, yay, genocide, we're fine with it. Basically, they're genociding non-white people, so fine by us. Britain, they have no history of genocide, right? Totally fine with it largely until it goes beyond a line where it starts to look really bad for the empire. And when I say the empire, I mean the U.S. empire, which includes the British Empire, because nowadays it's kind of one and the same. There's not a lot of difference in it. Britain and Europe have largely become vassal states to the United States. I think the one thing that's stops Britain from maybe being quite the vassal state the other European countries are is the fact that London and England are kind of the financial center of a lot of the world. That makes a difference. But anyway, even she is saying, and she says David Cameron, the head of the Tories, agrees with her that right to defense, quote unquote, is not limitless. Of course, when anyone says right to defense, it's bullshit to begin with. I mean, just calling this defense in any way. And then when you are an occupier in a land, you are the occupiers. You can't call any of it defense. The whole right to defense thing is laughable from the jump. But I think this is important because this is the right wing. This is the pro-Israel, most pro-Israel side of British politics. Corbyn, on the more left side, has been pretty damn good on Israel and Palestine for years. And of course, they use that to destroy his career because how dare he come out against an apartheid regime with an open air prison with millions of people trapped in it? How dare he do that? This leak has kind of gone viral, especially in the UK. It's big news, and it shows that even the most bloodthirsty right-wing side of the UK and the US is feeling a lot of pressure to no longer stand for limitless genocide, to no longer endorse limitless genocide.